Seattle, I'm Tyrah Majors. Welcome back into another episode of Sound On. Thank you for joining us. We have a lot on tap today, including a conversation about the gun violence that's just been plaguing our city. A lot of people looking for a solution on that. We're also going to be talking about acts of kindness. Find out what one person did to return a lost check. It's an incredible story. We're also going to be introducing you to a 14-year-old college graduate prodigy who's moving up to Washington to work alongside Elon Musk. Here's Sound On. Don't you just love that song, Steve?
It's so great.
Hey everyone, I'm Tyrah Majors.
And I'm Steve McCarron. Thanks for being with us for episode 5. How about it?
It's exciting.
We made it to number 5. We want to start off this week talking about something serious, and it's something that a lot of you have been talking about with your family members and friends. A lot of chatter about this on social media too, is the gun violence that has been plaguing not only Seattle, but several communities around our region. One of the most highest profile shootings that we saw was just a week ago, where a beloved business owner and expecting mother was killed at random while she was sitting at a traffic light in Belltown, and her baby also died. Her husband was in the hospital for some time and has since been released. But the community has really been shaken up by this and wondering, what is the solution here? How do we address this while they mourn a beloved woman and her new baby? It's just awful.
And it's a very awful story, very sad. Like you said, it's shaken a lot of people up. I mean, we've been hearing from community members all week. Take a listen to what some of them had to say.
She's well liked by everybody, always had a smile. Left the family broken. I remember coming to Seattle years ago, and the number of killings and shootings didn't exist.
Yeah, so you have that shooting. We had another shooting that happened at a movie theater at Kent Station last week, and we just did a quick check of SPD's blotter, and it shows that there have been at least 8 shootings posted on that site regarding shootings in Seattle just since the beginning of this month, and we're just a couple of weeks into the month of June, right? So many people talking about this violence that has really impacted every neighborhood in our region right now.
You're right, Steve. It's all over social media. A lot of people looking for a solution, wondering what they can even do themselves, you know, to kind of help combat some of this gun violence. So here's a look at what some people have been saying. Heartbreaking, of course, that story about that pregnant business owner. Someone else said, okay, everyone, this is enough. It's time to take action. We used to love our outings in Seattle. Haven't been there for 15 years now because I don't want to see it like this. Someone also said, this is so sad, what is happening? And then Charles, that last comment there on the bottom, said, I'm so done with the Seattle City Council. They all have to go. Steve, he's not the only person that's been saying
He's not
this.
the only person. We've been hearing that a lot. You know, every time there's an act of violence in the city of Seattle, many people are wondering, you know, there needs to be a change on the Seattle City Council to sort of address some of the policies that have been acted. We know a number of incumbents not seeking re-election already. Kshama Sawant, Deborah Juarez, Lisa Herbold, Alex Peterson. And the question really becomes, you know, what is the solution to this? And I don't know if you have a solution that would help address the ongoing gun violence. And if you do, leave us a comment. Let us know what you think needs to be done to try to address this so we can really, you know, cut down on the numbers that we see. It's just horrific.
For sure, yeah. Continue to leave those solutions or possible solutions in the comment section. And we know crime doesn't have a zip code. This is happening in a lot of areas. You mentioned Seattle, but I mean in counties all over Western Washington. So let us know what you think. We did a poll on our website too that was pretty interesting, Steve. Yeah,
so the question was, has the recent rash of gun violence made you think twice about leaving your house? And that's a pretty strong statement, right?
For sure.
Of this violence that's happening, and you don't even want to go out your front door. So just in the first couple of hours after we published this on our website, KOMOnews.com, there was more than 1,000 responses, and about half the people that responded said, yes, the violence has made them think twice about going outside their front door and going somewhere in their community, just because they're so scared about something like this happening to them.
And I mean,
crazy.
I hear them, Steve. I do. I live not too far away from the downtown Seattle area, and over the weekend, I definitely thought twice about, okay, what direction am I going to be walking in? Where do I feel most safe? And it's hard to really answer that question. Yeah.
So and you even have to think about, you know, just going on a walk somewhere.
Right.
Just walking to the store or something and pick something up.
Driving to the store. Yeah, so that's actually a perfect transition onto our next topic. A lot of you have been looking for safe neighborhoods, safe places to walk. And
Yep.
we mentioned crime doesn't have a zip code, but there are still some walkable neighborhoods and safe areas, at least I'd like to believe.
Yeah. You hope
there
so.
are. You hope so.
Yeah.
So there's this thread on Reddit, and someone asked, I'm a dog walker or a dog sitter, and I've been wanting to walk my dogs through some cool neighborhoods around the Puget Sound region that have awesome houses to look at. Also places that are safe, places where they don't have to really fear for their safety. So looking for recommendations. We got a lot of comments on this one as well. Someone recommended Mount Baker Ridge, Magnolia, Cap Hill, Maple Leaf, Ravenna, Wedgwood, the streets immediately surrounding Seward Park, Montlake, another comment about the
Beautiful
Mount Baker
spot.
neighborhood.
Yeah.
So there are options. I mean, where do you like to go for walks, Steve?
I mean, Queen Anne is one of my favorites. I used to live in that neighborhood, and
Yeah.
it's very walkable. So that was always, to go up to the top of the hill and visit some of the businesses up there, and they got some kind of some cool paths and stuff. But that's probably my favorite.
Walking up those hills?
Yeah, you
Have my
got to work
thighs
on those
burning.
calves.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I feel about Cap Hill, Queen Anne. I try to avoid the hills just because I'm lazy.
Yeah,
but
that's fair.
I do like the homes up in Queen Anne.
I do too.
I'm a South Lake Union girl. I also like Fremont, Ballard, Kirkland. But yeah,
U District has some fun
the
spots.
U District has some awesome spots.
I mean, there's some cool things in just about every neighborhood, I think,
For
right?
sure.
Yeah.
There's so many places to see. Love to take a ferry over to Bainbridge,
Yes.
Vashon Island, nice and quiet.
Gosh, we have some visiting to do, don't we?
Yeah, we've got some visiting to do. If you have a walkable neighborhood, a place you like to walk your dog or go sightseeing, look at some cool homes, leave in the comments, let us know.
So as you're out and about looking in some of those neighborhoods, you're probably likely admiring some of the beautiful homes in places like Queen Anne and Capitol Hill and Magnolia. I have some good news for you, my friends.
What is the good news?
Are you in the market to buy a house?
I am not.
Oh, well, if you were Tyrah Majors,
I want
you
to
might
be.
notice that the average price for a house in Seattle is starting to drop.
Oh,
And you're probably wondering, well, how much is it, Steve?
how much is it, Steve?
Thank you, great segue. The average, according to Zillow, $830,000.
Okay.
So it's affordable.
I mean, it's higher than the national average, but it's going down for
It
Seattle.
is going
for sure.
down
Okay.
more than 8% compared to a year ago. So
Oh.
how about that?
That's a welcome sign for home buyers, all of you looking to buy a home.
Maybe not a home seller, but it's good news for a home buyer
For
if you're looking
sure.
in the market. So
All right.
there's some big changes in our housing market.
Hopefully it keeps on going down. We like
hope
that
so.
downward trend.
Because I would like to be able to buy a house too.
Me too, Steve.
I
Hey,
know.
we're right there together. Okay.
know,
all
it'll
right.
happen one
Let's
of these
put our
days,
money
hopefully.
together and
Ooh,
get a house.
More people are doing that.
Not a bad idea, Steve. Speaking of sharing the wealth, sharing the cost of living, and moving in with your friends, we've seen so many acts of kindness online all across the internet from you all, and we want to put a spotlight on some of those. So
This makes my heart happy.
it makes my heart happy
I love
too,
kindness.
Steve. We need more kindness. I mean, there's so
Yes.
much bad going on. We were
Yes.
just talking about it.
We were,
so
yeah.
we want to put a smile on your faces. Someone posted a thread on Reddit, and the headline was in bold. It said, "Good people are out there."
Give us hope.
This is what happened. This is out in Lake Stephen. Shout out Snohomish County residents.
Hey.
Someone said, last weekend, my wife wanted me to take her shopping, so I did. On the journey, this person lost a $101 check.
That's a big chunk of money.
That's a lot of money to
Yeah.
lose. Long story short, someone mailed that check back and left a note saying, "You lost this at the Ross in Lake Stevens. Figured you might miss it. Smiley face from Michelle." That post got 505 upvotes on Reddit. This wonderful person found my check, placed it in an envelope, put a stamp in it, and made the effort to mail it to me. That person didn't have to do
That
that.
never happens, I feel like. You
It's
never hear
so-
about something like that happening.
It's so sweet, and it's
It
very
is.
rare. Something similar actually happened to me, Steve, a few months ago. I was out at the Pacific Northwest Ballet watching the Nutcracker,
Oh.
and I parked near Climate Pledge Arena. I didn't even realize it, but I ended up losing my credit card. I dropped it on the ground, and the way I found out was someone tracked me down on the internet, found my email and sent me an email saying, hey, we found this credit card. They attached a picture of it and they said, we think it may belong to you. Let us know the address and we'll mail it to you.
That's amazing.
And they sent it to me. They sent it here to KOMO News, and I ended up like sending them a Starbucks gift card back just to say thank you, because no one does that. They could have stole my money.
But you know what? There's good people out in the world. It gives you hope that there's still good people out there, which I appreciate.
For sure, for sure.
There's another really good feel-good story that we also saw on Reddit about somebody posting about a semi-truck running into this truck, and this happened in Fremont, and apparently the person saw the license plate. So this witness that saw this happen ended up leaving a note on the victim's truck, hoping that it could help with their investigation, right? And now that truck owner that had the note left on it is trying to get in touch with that person that left the note, because the police are trying to get a witness statement from them. So this person witnessed this semi-truck hitting this truck.
Hit and run.
Hit and run, and the semi-truck took off. Person saw it, decided to write a note with the license plate number saying, hey, I saw this, here's some information that might help with you. And now that truck owner is trying to find whoever this good person was to leave this note, right? And I feel like that never happens either.
Okay, so Good Samaritan, whoever you are, whoever saw this hit and run, come forward.
Will the real Good Samaritan please come forward and identify yourself?
Identify yourself so you can help with the investigation and track down that hit and run semi-truck driver. But that's really cool that they were nice enough to stop, write the license plate down, and leave it for that truck owner.
Because if you think about, if you're in that person's position, right? You like probably are out somewhere, come out and see like there's some damage to your truck. And most of the time, because I've had this happen, somebody hits you and then they just keep on going, and then you're left not knowing who it was,
wanting answers.
Who was behind the wheel, how do you get in touch with that person? And this would definitely help in that situation. So another good example of good people are out there.
Yeah, do you have an act of kindness you want to share with us? Leave it in the comments below.
And if you do, I also like to share those on the news every Friday whenever we can. We've hit a little bit of a lull, but I know there's been some acts of kindness out there that we need to know about. So please let us know in the comment section if you've carried one out, or if you know of somebody who has done one to you. Yeah. All right, let's talk about another feel-good story. And I love this story because it has to do with a young kid who is just so awesome. He's a prodigy. We've all heard of SpaceX, right? One of Elon Musk's companies. They have some launches that are coming up over the next couple of weeks. A few weeks ago, there was a local connection to a launch because there were some human-induced stem cells that were produced by scientists at Seattle's Allen Institute. And those were transported on SpaceX's Dragon X all the way up to the International Space Station to do some research up there.
So cool.
Yeah, but now we're talking about a 14-year-old college student prodigy. He's a graduate.
So he just skipped high school.
I mean, he fast-tracked his way through. Pretty awesome. Yeah, so what did he do?
Graduated college at 14 years old. Yeah, and so this is what's cool about him.
Yeah.
Not only did this kid graduate college, Santa Clara University, at 14 years old.
14.
But he's joining Elon Musk's team at SpaceX, and he's going to be based here in Washington State. So there's the local connection there to our states. But
software engineer at 14.
At 14, and he's moving up here with his mom, so he's not just like coming up by himself.
Okay,
but
I mean, that's good to know.
He's already in the workforce, working for one of the top companies in the world.
Yeah.
What? At
14? What was I doing? What were you doing at 14?
I was in the my freshman year of high school. I was cheerleading. I was doing theater, the drama department. Like
going to English and social studies class. And
trying to get a date to homecoming.
Sadie Hawkins. Yes,
right,
all those dances.
Regular 14-year-old kid stuff.
And here he is at the age of 11 going to Santa Clara University and getting a college degree.
It's incredible. And he's going to be living up here in Washington with us. The interesting thing about this kid is that a lot of people have been asking him, well, what about your childhood experience?
Yeah.
Like, are you missing
out on so much?
And he said this, he goes, I think there is a conventional mindset that I'm missing out on childhood, but I don't think that's true. I think, again, that mindset would have me graduating middle school now.
He's got such a good outlook on that.
Absolutely.
Good for him.
Good for him.
And I hope he does well.
I do too.
Has a long career with SpaceX.
I know, right?
As they venture into outer space.
Right.
All right, we got to grab some props.
We love props. Steve always has the props.
I always have props. All right.
Okay. Here we go.
It is Pride weekend in Seattle.
It is.
So if you are making plans for the weekend, it is Pride, Pride, Pride.
Pride.
At least for me.
Pride.
At
Well,
least
no,
for me.
for sure. And it's one of the
stick this right
biggest
here.
weekends here in our city. We've got
Yes.
2 big Pride events, or 3 big
Numerous.
ones. There's so many.
Numerous.
There's so many, but there's
There's
2
some
big
biggies.
ones that do happen every year, but a lot of
Yes.
people get excited about.
Yes. So you got Pride Fest on Capitol Hill. It is back. It's this Saturday. It's going to happen along Broadway from Roy to John and Olive. 3 stages,
Wow.
2 beverage gardens, 100 vendors,
Oh my
some
goodness.
fun at Cal Anderson Park, and I believe this is free too, unless you want to like pay for food or drinks or something. But yeah, that's an awesome event.
Oh my gosh.
Sunday's the biggie.
Okay, Sunday's the big
Have you
one.
experienced the Seattle Pride
I
Parade yet?
have. I went
Have
last
you?
year and I stood on the street corner and just watched the parade go by, and it was really fun.
All the happiness, the colors. I hung out with Doppler from Seattle Storm last
gosh,
year.
look at you.
It was so fun. So that's going to take place on Sunday, starts at 11 o'clock. This runs down 4th Avenue, kind of right past the Westlake Mall, and then it ends up at Seattle Center, where they have the big Pride Fest. There's stages and performers and beer gardens. And
Oh my goodness.
it's just so much
It's gonna
happiness
be a fun
and
day.
positivity. I just love it.
I think what's cool about Pride is that everybody is
It's for
happy.
everybody.
It's for everyone. Everyone's welcome, and everyone's just having fun. Everybody
Yeah.
wants a good time.
Yeah.
So I love those events. Thank you so much for sharing that,
It is
Steve.
colorful, it's happy, and it's for everybody, celebrating the community.
It's Pride.
It's Pride. Oh,
There's Pride.
we won't let that happen during Pride weekend.
That wraps up
Well.
this week's episode of Sound On, everybody. Don't mind my Pride flag. It's on the ground. I'll pick it up later.
Here, you can have mine, my friend.
Thank you, everyone.
We'll
Thanks
see you next
everyone
week.
for watching. Bye.